And welcome back, everyone, to Who Would Win? Today's Who Would Win comes to us from Emerald Phoenix, who asked the question, who will win in a three-way fight? Nine, the main bad guy from My Hero Academia, I believe it was the second movie, Heroes Rising. Salem, one of the main villainesses, or villains, or villains, just say villains, from RWBY. And then, and this name I had a little trouble with, Kavaxas? Is it, Kavaxas? A demon dragon villain from TMNT. These are all characters who have weird power sets. At first, when I was looking at, because I at least knew about 9. So I'm like, okay, are these individuals who steal powers, or, and to some degree, kind of, but Salem kind of fits in a weird, different section than them. She has a lot of different abilities, but not someone who necessarily steals powers. But anyway, let's get into this. 9 is an individual who is the main antagonist of the Heroes Rising movie. He was actually someone who had extremely powerful weather manipulation quirk, but it wreaked so much havoc on his body's health that he couldn't use it to its full capability. So he actually went to the League of Villains for help, and they gave him a weakened version of the All for One quirk. I'm sorry, the One for All. No, All for One. AFO. All for One's quirk. This allowed him to steal quirks, but only up to 8 quirks. But he did this in an effort to strengthen his body and just be, as powerful as he could be. As I said, his main quirk is to control the weather, which includes creating massive tornadoes and lightning strikes. But he also has about 5 other quirks by the time we see him in the movie. One of the quirks is just can't do anything. It's actually a quirk that helps restart and regenerate his body, but he needs a type A blood type to use it, and he didn't have that. So, But another quirk he has is called Hydra, which he summons 2 large blue dragon-shaped energy attacks off from his back that can strain people and be used for long-range attack. He has a bullet laser attack that he fires purple laser bullets from his fingertips. He's got an ability called Scanning, which allows him to identify and read others' quirks, like with infrared vision, and kind of measure the respective power levels of said quirks. And he's got an air wall quirk, which allows him to make a transparent a barrier full of air. Really, his biggest weakness really just simply comes down to his poor physical health. He can't push himself very hard without experiencing physical problems with his health, because he already had physical problems. But he's exceptionally powerful, can steal other people's quirks, and is still not to be tried. He's still a good barometer for a much weaker version of All for One or Shigaraki. Now, Salem is a person who used to be was apparently a member of the first part of humanity back in the day of RWBY's history, and the gods ultimately cursed her with immortality. So as such, she cannot die. Like, she literally cannot die. She has been vaporized, turned to ash, and has regenerated from that. She can keep going even after, having her chest caved in, or limbs taken off. She has an insane pain tolerance, and she is a master of magic. She can often uses energy bolts. She can teleport, use telekinesis, energy-based fields. She can manipulate and control the Grimm, which are these demonic-esque kind of being. I like them more kind of like the Hollows in Bleach, but they just exist in the RWBY world. So, ultimately, she is insanely knowledgeable, insanely powerful, and insanely wise. Kavaxas? I'm going to go with Kavaxas. Kavaxas is a demon dragon lord, not lord, but he's a member of a demon dragon species from another dimension who are insanely powerful. Physically, he's far more enhanced than other individuals. He can manipulate his own green fire to do whatever he wants, basically. I mean, besides just the standard fire breath. It's getting dark here. I'm going to have to turn the light on pretty soon. This, apart from his own, his own demonic fire or dragon breath, he can also manipulate it. Like, when he hit Mikey's nunchucks, apparently, he just traveled up the nunchuck and hit him automatically. He can fly, as his abilities would allow you to believe. He also can shoot laser vision. He has the laser eye, and he can steal souls and gain the power of the souls he steals. He can literally rip out your soul. He's also got, God knows how much amounts of knowledge under his belt, being probably an older dragon. He is bound though by an amulet that if you have that amulet, you actually control him. So these guys are interesting to say the least. If a three-way fight between them went down, it would be interesting. They both have barriers they can like throw up. He's got telekinetic abilities too. So they both can throw up barriers to protect themselves. They're just going to be launching attacks for a while. Honestly, I can already see it coming down to Salem in one of these guys, because unlike the other two, Salem is actually immortal, like straight out immortal. So Nine and Kavaxas are going to kind of be duking out with each other and her for a while, throwing out attacks. Not to say that Nine is going to be completely out of luck in this fight. For example, throwing down thunderbolts to hit Kavaxas would still severely hurt him. But doing the energy dragons, the laser fingers, whatever, that would still severely hurt him, and she could still be hurt by these attacks too. The difference though is she can actually regenerate from it. Kavaxas might actually have some issues, but the problem simply comes down to stamina. Nine doesn't have the stamina for a long drawn out fight like I think this would be, and what it simply comes down to is he's either going to be killed or have his soul stolen some point into the fight and just be dropped like a sack of potatoes. Now that means it comes down to Kavaxas and Salem, and honestly, it simply comes down to the fact that one's immortal, one's not. But immortality doesn't protect your soul. Not in every version of immortality. Some versions of immortality does, but as far as I can tell, this doesn't. And he has the ability to steal a soul. Simply by touching someone, he can do it. So, if at any point, if he touches her, he can take her soul. And if she doesn't have any resistance to it, which as far as I can find, she doesn't, then it's pretty done. The fight's done. So in a battle, and he's got enough different abilities to ward her off, to keep her at bay long enough that all he has to do is touch her and be like, mine, and that's the end of it. Ultimately, it comes down to a battle of attrition, which Nine would sadly lose. Because they don't have quirks for him to steal. So right at the gate, his ability to take quirks doesn't matter here. And even though as powerful as he is and capable of doing massive amounts of damage, these guys are capable of very similar feats. At least Salem is. And then with his dragon physiology, Kavaxas is arguably dragon demon physiology. He's arguably the toughest one among them. Not to mention arguably the fastest. And he's got probably the most dangerous ability of the group, being able to just touch someone and take a soul. So I would say in the battle of attrition, Nine's going down first, and all it takes is one touch for Kavaxas to win. And I don't see Salem knowing anything about the soul stealing ability, assuming that Nine doesn't go down initially from that. Instead he's just straight out killed, which is very possible on a 3-on-3 or a 1-on-1-on-1 fight, 3-way fight. So I would probably go Kavaxas in this fight. But this is just my personal opinion. Let me know what you think. Do you think it would be Nine, Salem, or Kavaxas? Let me know, and why do you think that? Till then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.